Sure. Just to remind you, this is for entertainment purposes only. The following podcast is not meant to be true. We do try and do our best to get the facts straight, but sometimes we can't always compute that. And unfortunately, we can't get everything right. We're not perfect. So anyways, don't sue us. And please, again, for entertainment purposes only, the characters used and any names used in this shall not be taken for truth and entertainment purposes only. Enjoy. In Pat we trust, motherfucker.
Well, shit, Marquita. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. And appreciate all the listeners here. We have moved on. I think the big thing right now for a lot of people, especially using certain apps, is the future of certain apps. And the one that we'll be discussing today is Kick, indeed. KIK, or Media Lab Kick, whatever you want to call it. Lots of rumors. There's a lot of this. There's a lot of that. A lot of bullshit that, whatever we can sit there and we could talk about. But I think the big thing is knowing that they've advertised that they are moving to a new platform. So it's going to be very interesting what is going to be of that. I think, in my opinion, the deal's done. There's some people saying that they're just not going to do anything and that they're lying. Well, that's not really, you can't really do that. There's, have you heard of Enron before? Like, you're not really allowed to just lie outright. And especially with a corporation and then the inside sources, but they've been very hidden about that. And I find that very interesting. Now, the big thing with that is the levels of diamonds or their streamer levels are all going to be zeroed out. So, if you got 56 billion diamonds, well, you're starting at zero. That's what it sounds like, that's for sure. But the fact that they're being a little secretive is kind of weird. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It's very interesting in a way, though, when you look at it from a business standpoint. And then I know in a lot of the streams that we've had, or podcasts, or episodes, whatever you want to call it, rather, we've kind of compared apps, and we've given certain apps a big, leash here, a long leash, and they still are not performing how we expected, or they're just not as fun. I find Kick, KIK, to be the best one because for whatever reason, it's just where all the wild people, the wild characters of this world have seemed to migrate over to. And at one point, you could get away with a lot of stuff, and what I mean by that is you're not getting banned for, smoking a cigarette on cam or something like that. So it's like there, but now it, unfortunately with whatever you want to call it, the libertarians of this world or the liberal Democrats, and I hate to say that word, but they kind of fucked it up. Like you would always think that they were, open media, but it's really the opposite with them, and they want to censor everything. So as things have gone on, people have gotten sensitive, and this generation that is growing up, the younger generation and the 20s, people in their 20s, pussies, just straight up pussies,
You're a pussy.
So unfortunately, that's what we've had to deal with. Now, kind of all sums up to sum it all up, and my point is what I'm saying is there is no other streaming app that I can possibly think of that is killing it right now. There are few and far between entertainers.
Yeah, Pat, I have to agree. Yeah, you and a few others, as Listen would say, kind of like the last of the Mohicans, if you will. He said, I think that's what he said. Yeah, the last of the Mohicans. It makes sense. Go around, there ain't much people or many streamers that are actually entertaining. They're all just a bunch of diamond beggars. Now, I understand from Media Lab that people think the Media Lab Kick is kind of a cesspool for that, but it really honestly isn't. Now, you can blame some of those fucking bitches on that. I'm not going to lie. They kind of ruined the app a little bit. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But I think less bounce might not be a bad thing.
But the bounce is kind of like what's, gelling everything together. Obviously, with all the horny men wanting to gift them. But don't go on the app just to promote another app. You shouldn't do that. And that's also what kind of hurt. And I understand, from my understanding, it was that people weren't paying their taxes or filing their I-9s correctly. And then, somebody's got to pay the fucking big man upstairs that. or Uncle Sam, I should say, rather. Somebody's got to pay that. So, did they get stuck with a fat ass bill? Did people weren't doing it correctly, or just not paying? You got to pay your fucking taxes, obviously. But it could be a lot of things, and there's a lot of speculation. Now, if we're going over, like, where else are you going? People are saying meet me. It's kind of like the counterpart to Kick. Hell no. Why? Too many streamers. Too many fucking streamers. It's flooded with streamers. The gifters only can go to so many streams, and not to mention, with all those streamers in there, there's really nothing new there. And it's the same format. There's just nothing that it brings to the table. There's not enough traffic, if you will. Just too flooded over there right now. And that's simple as that. And the streamers are not entertaining on Mimi. The main streamers over on Mimi that have chosen not to go on Kick or that don't bounce around, they suck. There's a lot of fucking ceiling streamers. Not my cup of tea. I don't want to fucking stare at your ceiling. Do something. Show yourself. Okay? Be entertaining. Do your job. Then it leaves me over to TikTok. TikTok seems to be the upper echelon of everything right now. Now, I'm not talking about YouTube Live, because I think YouTube Live technically, or even maybe Kick.com at this point, would be the number one. But it's not TikTok. Okay? I'm so sick of it. TikTok this, TikTok that. Nah. Sorry. It ain't TikTok, okay? Again, no traffic. And there's really no entertaining streamers. You look at these big streamers like iShowSpeed or Neon and stuff like that. They're not really entertaining. They're just really kind of stupid. And they're all in a way kind of the same deal. And I like to see a little bit more entertaining. Not just, nobody cares about your life. Like, I don't want to watch Neon walk around. It's cool to see his rich or lavish lifestyle and shit, but I don't give a shit about what he's doing. I don't care about who he's fucking, although the women he fucks are actually fairly decent looking. I don't want to do that. So I say this to all streamers out there. We need to come together and start being more entertaining. When you're versing somebody or you're co-hosting with somebody and they're starting to be a little extravagant, don't call them fucking weird and, shit. Work with them. Act with them. Okay, now you don't have to be a character. That's another thing. I've never been a character. I am myself, whether it's Pat Cheeks, whether it's my other character, or any of the characters I am, or even my real self identity. I've always been the same. Maybe in the streams, I'm a little bit more aware of being entertainment, so maybe it's a 10% over-exaggeration. You can tell me that. I don't know. That's my opinion. But again, work with them. It's like a wrestling, like, professional wrestling. Think of it that way. I think that's actually a great way of putting it too. Is you are putting on this act of one-on-one, you and the fighter, or you and the opponent, but you both work together to put on a great show, and that's really simply what needs to be done there. Thank you. It's simple as that. Let's work together. Let's start being a little bit more entertaining conscious. Stop begging for fucking diamonds. Okay? You're going to drive us all nuts. That's exactly how I feel.
Bro, are you serious right now, bro?
I mean, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing for the people is entertainment. You don't go on a stream. Maybe you become friends with people and stuff. But the main objective should be entertain people. Get out those fucking credit cards and start swiping. Okay? These apps aren't going to survive if we're not gifting. We need to gift the streamers who deserve it, or the entertaining ones. Don't fucking gift the boring ones who are doing nothing but begging for diamonds or telling you to tap their fucking screen. Let's not do that anymore. Let's get rid of that and start gifting the entertaining ones. Okay? It's very simple. So, that's just a challenge to everybody out there.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I totally see what you're saying. These diamond baggers, these virtual panhandlers, as we call them, they're not doing anything good for anything, really. And all you have is a bunch of bums who are self-loathing and just want to hear people compliment them or listen to what they say. I don't give a shit, Jimmy Crockett. Okay, I don't care. I don't care that you're going to a concert tonight. Well, concert you're going to see. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. Yo, Carlos, I don't get a sound. What, Pat gets a sound? I don't get a sound? Yeah, okay, I guess that works. What the fuck? Anyways, so simple as that. Great job, though, Pat. You did your thing. You did your thing.
Well, yeah, and I mean, honestly, it's just a weird. Now, this shit's replacing cable, in my opinion. I don't even have fucking regular cable anymore. I'm watching streams and shit. So for me, I think it's very important to find a good core group that you can kind of feel comfortable in, but at the same time, you don't want to go into streams of and then get yelled at by people. That's what happened to me on TikTok. I got yelled at. Yeah, you're not tapping the screen, Pat. Well, I'm eating, motherfucker. Let me eat first. You know? So, anyways, by the way, Carlos, that was terrible. I don't know why. What the fuck was that? I mean, my ears are literally bleeding today. It's been a rough day. I just want to get this kind of podcast over with, which we're going to do now. Let's work together, people. Work the fuck together, and let's get this shit rolling. Let's start doing better. Okay? By the way, I want everybody to check out my music, Pat Cheek 5, PATCHEEK 5. New album coming out today. Also, DJ Pat Cheeks, I think you know how to spell that. And our good friends, Marshall Methers, who have released their album. Marquita, it's you.
Hey, yeah, motherfucker. Hey, I love it. Our album's doing great. And I appreciate everybody for the support. And it's, it's good to be back on the Richter scale, if you will.
Yeah, great album, by the way. So, anyways, go check out our album, too. It's called Winner, because that's all we do here is win. And, hell, love, peach, chicken grease, and thank you so much. We'll catch you next time.